Okay, I'll start recording and I'll make any edits that we need to. Hmm. I'll just edit myself out of this part where I'm coughing and.
Drinking
Drinking all the water, all the tasty water.
mineral water.
Mm.
All that hard tap water.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All
Might as well
right.
be drinking rocks. Joking.
I don't want to drink rocks.
It's called
Well,
drinking
well.
lava.
Wait. Ooh. Because I drink lemon water. What if I drink limestone?
That's a horrible line.
Yeah. You opened up for me, buddy. So I had to dive right in once you gave me the opening. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody. First podcast of the year. First podcast in months because we've been like 100% into as satisfactory. So, and like, yeah, I should just check how many hours do we have in that game now. We have
probably 500.
Let me see. We have 90 hours in this save for satisfactory. So that's why we haven't podcasted in a long time because that's all we've been doing. Because the way the game queue has been going, I think
GameCube.
GameCube. I knew you would say that. Damn it, GameCube. I think it was last March we were saying, "Oh, we're gonna play Elden Ring and then Sandland." And here we are, almost a year later. We barely finished the DLC. Did Satisfactory. Now we're here. We're going to be doing this probably until the end of March. I think is what we decided because that should give us enough time to finish this, or as much time as we'll give it before we switch over. And not to mention, I didn't want to start a whole new game and then let GTC interrupt it, right? So
yeah,
I figured it was best until post GTC that we save Sandland. So that's what we've been doing this entire time. So what are we doing here today? We're here to do one of my favorite things to do in the podcast, and that's to review the Game Awards from 5 years ago.
2019.
Yep.
Already got it pulled up. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, so we can start from the. We start at the bottom now. The top.
We can do the announcements at least.
Is there announcements?
There were games that were announced on 2019. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess we could. That could be our warm up. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Here, let me adjust some audio settings here. Because even though I'm not playing the game, I can hear the game music, and it's starting to get to me. Okay. All right. Now I can barely hear it. And it's not being picked up on recording, so although everyone listening and watching this video is going, what the hell's going on? Anyway. So, like we were saying, the announcement. So these were I need to read this. Valve announced it would showcase Half-Life Alyx. I guess what I want to know is that these all previously unannounced games, or these were just games that were marketed during the awards ceremony.
These were games that were either announced or had reports of updates because, like, in that little tiny brief thing above the list, there's some games that it's like, okay, I know those were released, and some of those look to be they were going to be released.
Okay, all right. I read the blurb up top.
Yeah,
and it says that it first says the announcements on recently released and upcoming games were made for Apex Legends, Beat Saber, Black Desert Online, Control, Cyberpunk 2077, Gears Tactics, Ghost of Tsushima, Humankind Magic Gathering Arena, New World, No More Heroes 3, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. New games announced during the ceremony included, and then the list we have here. So I think this list is all games that were newly announced at the ceremony.
In this case, I think the list that you just read off were games that had stuff that they had been prior announced, but they were showcasing more of, or had a stuff of like No More Heroes. That was 2021. because I'm hovering over it and it says like is a 2021 action adventure game developed
Mhm.
and published by Grasshopper Manufacturer. Blah blah blah. So that one I feel like it was announced earlier in the year, but they showcased like a maybe a small bit during that time.
Okay,
So
so as for the games that
there-
were newly announced,
yeah,
Bravely Default, um,
two,
which
two,
I haven't
two.
played. Yeah, Bravely Default 2. I haven't played that one.
I have it. I've been playing it. It's on Steam. It's good. I'd recommend it.
Oh,
Um,
it's
Mostly
tactics, right?
because
It's a tactics game.
no, it's turn-based RPG.
Oh, it is. I don't know if that is a tactics game.
You're thinking of one. You're thinking of probably something that I believe the studio that did Bravely Default 2 did, which was I'm double checking. Let's see here. Developer was Claytek.
Mhm.
And really the publisher is Square Enix. So you may be thinking of probably Triangle Strategy.
Maybe that kind of makes sense when you put it that way. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what I was thinking before.
Yeah. I would probably say that Bravely Default 2, I can at least state for 2, but I have no idea about its two compatriots, Bravely Default and Bravely Second, and Lair. Um, they are kind of spiritual successors to Final Fantasy V, because there is a big thing about a job system in it. So,
Also, second important question since you played the game: what does Bravely Default mean?
I okay, that's its actually mechanic. You
Okay,
can default, aka store a turn, or brave, which you can go into like negatives and then have to wait turns for the come back up. Or if you have stored terms, use them up and take multiple actions in a turn. That's where the bravely default comes from, is the brave default system.
gotcha.
Don't
Okay,
ask me why they chose those terms. I have no fucking clue.
okay, just curious. Okay, so then then there was Convergence, a League of Legends story. I don't even know that game, especially because they've come out with other games that were a big deal. I just remember Convergence.
I think Convergence. Oh, that one. Okay, I tried a demo of Convergence.
What's our Metrovania?
Yeah, that's why I tried it. And I believe it has been out for a while now. Oh wow, it got released 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Conver- Um, I played it. It's a bit kind of like it leans more in the Vania side of Metroidvanias.
Okay.
So it's much more of like, oh hey, get through the stage and you have abilities, but it's a decent game, but mm, I think a lot of people were more focused on some of the other ones that came about from the whole, because like it was part of that giant huge amount of people uh media project where it's like the Riot Games was trying to expand out past just League of Legends.
Oh,
So
okay.
we got stuff like Convergence, we got Arcane, and I think a couple of other things as well.
Valorant is a game they made, but not in the League of Legends universe, right? Or is?
No,
Okay.
Valorant is its own thing. It is not part
Okay.
of the League of Legends uh,
Okay.
IP.
IP.
Understood. Okay. Next one we got is Dungeons and Dragons: Dark Alliance, which poor game in the shadow of Baldur's Gate.
Are
Released
you sure about that?
before. This was
Yeah,
released before.
I know it was, but like, I mean, I think Baldur's Gate blows it out of the water. And
Technically, it's a side story to Baldur's Gate. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me how well it's doing.
Well, considering that a lot of people liked uh, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, I think this was one of those things of eh,
M-
mileage may
mixed to
vary.
mixed to average reviews. Metacritic 53 on PC, 57 PS5, and Xbox 58.
Yeah. See
So yeah,
here.
that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, but I think the
I
gameplay
mean, nobody
style
thinks of it anymore. I mean, we are talking about the action RPG.
Dark Alliance.
So we gotta get through these games. We're gonna be here forever. We're only on the
Yeah.
third game on this list. Passengers Crossroads. Okay, I don't remember playing it. Godfall, which is has did that game come out
Oh,
yet?
that one.
It was released.
Oh God,
I,
Godfall.
I know they were trying with that one, but I feel like Gearbox just didn't do a whole lot with it. Their
It was less than that.
looter shooting didn't translate to the looter slashing. Magic Legends, which is a Magic the Gathering game. Meh.
Naraka is doing pretty okay. It's now free to play.
Okay, yeah, I haven't played that. It's a battle royale. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of it
Yeah,
before, or I
it.
don't remember it.
I think the reason why it's starting to do well is because um, it's a kind of like close combat version of like Valorant or other like Fortnite style arena stuff. So
We got 9 to 5, which is a free to play 3v3v3. That's an interesting concept. Made for Google Stadia, GeForce Now, and Windows. So good
I
company.
don't think it's doing well.
Path of the Warrior. It's a VR game for Oculus. I,
Let's see, and it just when I click on the link, it just goes back to Oculus Studios. So I don't know what happened to it.
a Korean game called Prologue, which I don't know much about that one either.
That goes to its publisher,
Yeah.
Krafton, who were the people behind PUBG.
Oh, and here's the other League of Legends game, Ruined King, which is a turn-based.
That one, no, it's not turn-based.
It says here, turn-based role-playing video game.
Yes, I've seen it. It plays very similar to Bastion.
Really? That's
Yes.
weird to call it a turn-based RPG.
I don't know why they're calling it a turn-based RPG, because it is an RPG, but it is not. Wait, let me double check. Because like I saw somebody play through it, and it's weird because it's like it's been a long time since I saw somebody play it, but I swear it plays similar to Bastion. Okay,
YouTube Edge not
why not just use
autocomplete.
Steam? It's on Steam.
Let's freaking look up a video for it. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so this is from the same people who did Battle Chasers Night War. Man, that's a series. Huh.
Cutthroats.
Okay.
I just want to see the gameplay.
Let's start the party.
Ruin King.
The queen
Oh, I
of
have it in my library.
Bilgewater, looking to bring order to this twisted
Okay,
town.
this
Hey, does look very
The priest
turn-based turn-based shooter.
unmoved by fear.
very Bastion-esque.
The legend
The world traversal is, but the battles are still
is kind.
turn-based.
Turn-based.
Yeah, it's very clearly turn-based.
The terror from the deep.
Okay.
Praise.
I don't know what I was watching, but they had it listed as Ruin King, so.
Okay. A big one that came out this year is Setsuna Saga Hellblade 2.
Yeah. That one came out quite literally last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sons of the Forest.
That's one that I've wanted to play, but I haven't gotten to, because I know it's kind of up our alley with building survival shit.
Well, given
Well,
the
it's a
fact
lot
that,
more survival and combat oriented than this.
yeah,
I'd love to give it a try at some point. It's on the to-do list.
Surgeon Simulator 2 after so long.
Cool. Ultimate Rivals, the rank that doesn't even have a Wikipedia link.
I think that got canceled.
Weird West. It sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it is.
That one, I think.
That
Oh my
one
God.
did come out.
It did come out, but it was kind of similar to like weird West. Oh, there's a definitive edition. It's this one. Oh god, this one was kind of like it's isometric RPG, but it also has a bit of the immersive gameplay where you're like, hey, you can knock a barrel over and somebody will go like, what's that sound? And then investigate where the barrel was knocked over. It's kind of weird to describe because since it's isometric, it's not quite to the levels of Baldur's Gate 3 or Divine Divinity 2. Levels of immersiveness?
It didn't get bad scores.
No, it's mostly positive on Steam.
I heard of it, but I never played it. And I guess I never looked at footage for it because it looks kind of interesting.
You may like it, Eddie.
I might have to give it a try.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else is there?
And then The Wolf Among Us 2, which... Has that even come out yet?
No.
Oh my god, no, it hasn't even been released. TBA.
Wasn't this this was probably announced pre the downfall of Telltale, right?
But Telltale did sort of resurrect.
Yeah. This was after Resurrection, I think.
I'm not entirely certain of the timeline. So I'm pretty sure Telltale was already having financial troubles going into 2019, much less, 2020. Which technically, things didn't really get bad until 2021 or things like that. But
I'm literally looking at the Wikipedia article, and they did mention that they had to sell some stuff off, but 2021, Telltale Games is co-developing the Expanse the Telltale series with Deck 9. In August 2023, Telltale acquired Flavorworks, game known for their interactive film video games like Erica. So they're still around.
Well, they did sort of declare bankruptcy, I thought that was the case.
I think the important thing
was in 2020, though.
I think the important thing is that the game is, one, not released yet, and two, it looks like the team that was working on it has since been laid off for the most part. So
probably
when we'll get it, who knows?
Or when we'll get the cancellation notification.
Right.
Whenever.
Okay, time for the main event.
Now we scroll all the way down.
Yep. I scrolled past everything, so I didn't see anything.
So are we going to start with games with multiple nominations, or are we going to go with the games that have won multiple awards? Because I don't think we want to do presenters or performers.
No. We're gonna go. We want to go to where it starts saying content creator of the year, because then that's the bottom of the list, and we work up from there.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see. So the categories they had here: global gaming citizens, which I don't even remember what that word was about. I don't even know. Did they still have that award anymore?
I don't think that. I think that's been changed to something else. And
it doesn't seem there's a winner on this one. It just seems like they were like shouting out people who were doing good work in the community, which good for them.
Because I feel like Global Gaming Citizens has been changed to like gaming community award thing. I think that's what it's been changed to. But
We'll see. We'll see if they have that somewhere. But it's just looking at the list, it looks like it's just a shout out.
yeah, it looks to be just a bunch of shout outs.
Content Creator of the Year was Shroud that year.
Yep.
That's a name. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I think he's retired, or no, he's still around.
I mean, he's
Um,
no longer as popular as he used to be. But the same could be said for Ninja.
Not the zeitgeist the way he was.
Yeah, no, because there was talks about like the 2024 Streamer Awards. He was nominated, so he's still active.
Okay.
But the runner-ups we got were Co-Rage, Dr. Lupo, Grefg, and Ewok, who no link for them. That's
The only one I
sad.
recognized was Shroud in that whole list.
Yeah,
And this might be the first time I've ever seen the guy's face. So, the esports host, which is that's a thing to say these days. That esports was big enough that you could nominate hosts for an award. Oh, that
well,
too bad.
I think best esports hosts are the people that are like the announcing and trying to explain to the watchers what's happening.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but the idea that it was so popular that you actually had a category for promoting who was the best caster this year,
Yeah.
versus nowadays where it's like, I think it's the only thing that's been successful has been League of Legends in terms of like major pull.
Mm-hmm.
One day we should have a topic about esports and why it's not going anywhere. But it's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
The best esports event, speaking of League of Legends, was also the League of Legends 2019 World Championships.
Overwatch, Evo. God, poor Evo.
Yeah, Evo's still going. Good for them. I mean,
They're still going, but a lot of people are criticizing some of the lineups.
Well, the problem is how corporate Evo has become.
Yeah.
And
Fortnite World Cup. Haha.
In line with how much a host was a category, we also got coach and team.
Yeesh.
So
Guess this was the last push for esports.
Yeah.
Or one of the last, because we'll also have to see about the year next year.
Okay.
And yeah, esports player and esports game. This was a whole esports and creators category. I guess that's why.
Yeah. Best esports game.
League of Legends. Oh wow! What a novel game. We should try that Sunday.
No, I think we need to do the second one down. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Oh wait, we can't play Global Offensive anymore. We have to play Counter-Strike 2.
Was that really that bad of a switchover? I hadn't heard anything too negative about it, other than people wanting.
The joke is that Global Offensive became Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was just the factor that they had to move a few things over because of certain situations of people laundering money using the crates and items from CS:GO.
Forget esports. How about black market?
Valve was not happy with that one.
No, I cannot imagine they would be. Okay, so here's player's voice, and I can't tell looking at this if this was also a shout out or a ranking.
This is a ranking, 1 through 4.
Okay, because the way they formatted this, I couldn't tell. But
yeah.
I mean, actually looking at this is very impressive that 3 houses got player's voice in the same category that included a Star Wars game, Smash Brothers, and a Kojima game.
I would caveat that technically Death Stranding, Smash Brothers Ultimate, yes, they are worth it. I have seen some people say that Fallen Order was kind of meh.
I don't think that's true. That game got a lot of hype behind it, and people still talk it up to this day.
Hype.
The only thing that they're talking about is how poorly optimized it is.
Yeah.
Because here, let me even see where the Metacritic scores are at.
PC 81, PS4 79.
Okay, yeah, those are generally
81.
Yeah, those are generally favorable. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not like, oh, super good. It's like, it's okay. Numbers.
Better than Weird West. We were
I'm
just
not
reviewing.
I'm not going to argue that one because it's like that's a niche game versus big title, big like something EA actually put money behind.
Okay, best community
Well,
support was
marketing.
Okay.
yeah. So our best community support, Destiny 2 won that year in the same category as Apex Legends, 14, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14. I'm used to saying
Wow,
14.
that's
Fortnite and
awkward.
Tom Clancy. What?
Destiny 2 getting
Yeah,
getting the best. You
it's
said
true.
community support.
Support. That was their heyday, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
they have fallen from grace. That's for fucking sure. But
heavily.
they were writing it. Whatever they were doing back in the day was working.
So
Now I think every one of these games, every other game on the list, is doing better than Destiny 2. And I don't even know how Rainbow Six is doing, but the fact that they're
That's
not a
doing
meme.
well enough to still get updates.
Yeah, and the fact that they're not a meme.
Well, they're still a meme. They really
people are.
are.
But
The
Rainbow
meme
Six?
is like, when are we going to get a new Rainbow Six?
I mean, that's true. At least the meme isn't you suck. Your community sucks. Ah, that's too bad. I mean, yeah,
I mean, that still actually applies technically.
that's a beautiful illustration of doing this 5-year rewind. It's just, man, how far has Destiny 2 and Bungie fallen? Fresh indie game. There were some heavy hitters here. Disco Elysium, which is a game that still gets talked about. This game, I have not played it. It's been out for years and I haven't played it.
This is a big thing that I've heard about Disco Elysium is that the two major driving forces behind it have left the studio for the exact reason they made Disco Elysium.
And it's a shame given how critically acclaimed successful that game is.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things of like they wanted to show off like various aspects and then it got corporatized. And that was exactly the point of the game was like do not like we don't want to corporatize this game. So
Let's see, the other heavy hitters I know on this list are Outer Wilds, Slay the Spire, and Entitled Goose Game, which
I remember like kind of looking forward to my friend Pedro, but after hearing how it played, it was like, okay, so it's kind of okay, but
I didn't recognize the name until I saw the picture and the logo, and yeah, I recognized that
Greece?
logo.
Greece, I've heard. Is it Greece or Gree? I think it's Greek because it's French.
No, I don't know that one.
Oh wait, no, they're Spanish developers, so it'd be. Ugh.
Greece was Greece, gray.
Greece.
Yeah.
Greece. I heard good things like art style wise. But it is like a short game. Like quite literally, you can play the game and beat it in an afternoon. So
It's an indie, so it's not nothing too wild
not
for.
bad against it. It's just
Yeah. Where is? Oh, here we go. I just figured that I probably should share my screen with you in case you wanted to see exactly what I'm looking at when we're looking at it together.
might help.
So, fresh indie game. So, I think out of that list, this one also feels right because again, Disco Elysium has gotten a lot of praise over the years, but the category overall is pretty strong. I think all these games have had good lives since then.
Mm-hmm.
Best multiplayer game. Apex Legends in the same category as Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, Tom Clancy's 2, The Division 2.
Oh boy!
Wow, some of these things fell off. Okay.
Okay, let's start with Apex Legends. I haven't
Apex
played the game in
Legends
years.
itself has fallen off.
It has, but it's still not bad.
No, I've heard that they've been having problems with cheaters as of like the past year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been hearing that a lot too, where like they were really good against cheaters, and now it's kind of like
They become Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard about that. I kind of, for me, it was like no news is good news sort of thing, where I thought they were kind of doing okay. Borderlands 3, yeah, that was a good game. I mean, I know people say it's
Yeah,
not.
but let's be honest, it also sort of fell off.
It
It
didn't
wasn't
hit
nearly as popular as Borderlands 2.
right. Exactly what I was going to say. But and I don't and I mean if that's the worst you can say about that game, I don't think that's anything to scoff at. I had a good time playing it, and I'm looking for number 4. So I mean, the fact that it didn't win the category, I guess, maybe makes sense for why it's correlates with its lack of longevity. Um, Modern Warfare. I mean, Call of Duty franchise has been getting hit hard a lot lately. Although I think the more recent release was done more or less well, from what I heard.
Uh, I've still had some people say that they did not like Omni movement because I literally saw somebody toss a grenade, like going into a hallway, clearing it, and they're like, okay, everything's good, and they died. And then the kill cam showed this weird dude just kind of twitching out, tosses a grenade, goes up into the air, goes through geometry, lands in the hallway that the guy was in, and he gets killed by the grenade.
I mean, that does sound bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that happens that often, though. It sounds like a clip that someone captured that was a miracle.
Apparently it's recreatable because that was
Okay.
what the clip was saying was like, hey, you can do this, and it's like that's not good. No.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I haven't heard otherwise, but I'll take your word
Yeah.
for it. Tetris 99 was a
Tetris,
good time.
and I think they're going to be closing Tetris 99 down soon, like this year. Or did they already close it down?
I don't remember if they did or didn't. I think they might have, but
I
I don't
know there was
remember.
an announcement that they were going to be like closing it down. No, it's still going.
Okay. And then
But
there's the Division 2, which is I never played it, but that's also a game that I heard was decent.
I've heard a lot of mixed things about Division 2.
yeah,
I
admittedly, I
mean,
think
I hate to say this, the best one on that list, in my opinion, is Tetris 99. Because it's sort of hard to screw up Tetris.
it's kind of hard to do that. But then again, like it is multiplayer, which means you're playing against 98 other people.
I mean, Division 2 did get like 80s in their scores.
It
So I don't know.
I think also the factor that like the reason why I think we've been hearing about it more recently is because of the factor that there's been things about like closing down the Division 2, leading into some of the more recent topics of like
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft or like um live service games about like how like why can't we keep these games if there's no live service kind of arguments.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that those are topics for later.
All right, best sports and racing game. I didn't play any of these, so I have no
How
dog in this race.
how can you not like Crash Team Racing being the top of the line one?
Yeah, in a
Well,
category
let's
full
hear.
of
Okay, Dirt Rally 2.0. Uh, that could be a hard question. I heard F1 2019 was a rough game. It doesn't help the fact that Codemasters is on this list multiple times.
Yeah.
FIFA 20.
I just think it's adorable that in a category full of like realistic racers, it's Crash Bandicoot that one.
That's why I'm going like, how can you not?
Technically, it's like 2 football games.
And,
And
and 3 racing games?
yes, and one of them is a kart racer, a mascot kart racer.
Oh wow,
Yes.
there's football games, but none of them were football.
Well, yes, they're never going to nominate Madden.
I
Oh,
swear Madden's been nominated a few times. How has Madden not been nominated?
not
Ah,
recently.
I don't
Okay,
think so.
wait. I'm gonna Google that on my
Like
phone
they
real
might
quick.
even just simply skip even doing a.
Has Madden ever been nominated? Um, I I can't find if they've been nominated or not. I guess that's
Oh
something
wow.
there's no good source of information.
Let's put it on the dartboard for later.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Best strat game. Given what we saw earlier, I think the winner is not shouldn't be too surprising. Fire Emblem Three Houses, which was a great game. I don't even think I finished playing that one, but I do want to go back to it.
Considering that I think Three Houses has gotten like DLC like back in 2022, and people are still playing it.
And then Three Hopes came out.
Ah, right.
It's just such a long game that I got to the end of it one time, but I think like I just got burnt out. Like I think this is one of the few games that really burned me out, and I couldn't finish. I do need to get back to it.
Let's see. Age of Wonders, Planetfall. How's that doing?
I haven't heard about any of these other games.
I do know about Anno 1800 because like technically I had like Anno 2166, I think, MPX.
Yeah, but that was like
Um,
well over 10 years ago. That was released in like 2012.
Yeah, but like Anno 1800 is basically a city building game during the 1800s. Total War: Three Kingdoms. That one I think
I'm
a lot of
surprised Wargroove is that old, but
yeah.
then again, they're having their 2.2 second
Wargroove
Wargroove
2.
2 sometime this year.
I think this year. Wargroove. Wargroove 2.
I hate to say it, it's sort of hard to
It's been
argue with
released.
the winner, though I think it might. I don't know if Three Houses aged as well as you think it did. I think it has its fan base, but
I don't know. I've never not heard good about the game, and like I just went to an anime
all I
con. Like
see is frickin' slap fights about the plot and characterization.
I just went to an anime con, and there's people cosplaying as characters from this game. So like, I mean, I think it still hits.
Unless they're playing like other Fire Emblem characters.
And like I said, like it was so good that they said let's do it again and made Three Hopes. So
Also, to answer MPX thing, Wargroove 2 actually got released 2023, October 5th.
Oh, wow.
So it is out. It is sitting at mostly positive, but like 334 reviews is kind of.
okay, the next thing we got is Family Game, and I think this one's a little surprising.
The
To me,
Nintendo
anyway.
category.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Holy shit, you're actually right. That had to have been a meme that year because that's all this is.
I think it's kind of like that's the category Nintendo really just focuses on because nobody else does family games.
Well, it's not that nobody else does family games. I think it's the fact that nobody plays anything but Nintendo family games. Like, because realistically, a family game isn't all that difficult to make.
I mean, we just had Crash Team Racing down here, so like it's not like
but
other
is it
people are
rated
trying.
teen?
Opening?
Yeah, you tell me.
It's on PCs.
It's basically a knockoff of a.
Yes, I understand the structure of the game is knocked off of like something else.
Every
but
gonna have to open up a Crash Team Racing. No, that's the original one, which was E for Everybody.
Yeah, E for Everybody 10 plus.
On the remake one, the
Natural.
Field?
Yes.
Okay. So it could have potentially ran, but
I guess in that sense, it's funny that a winner in one category wasn't even nominated for another category.
I'm surprised Ring Fit didn't do better, actually.
Well, I kind of want to get that. Like, it feels like Luigi's Mansion is a game that has as like its own series, has a lot of love, but I actually can't believe it beat out all of these other ones. Ring Fit was a big deal. Mario Maker was a big deal. Ultimate was a big deal. I mean, having Yeah, even having another Yoshi game seemed like it was a big deal, but it was Mansion 3 that did it.
I would probably say Luigi, like Ring Fit. Probably the reason why it probably didn't work is that it is more geared towards exercising, like moving your body. So while yes, it's a family game because you can have profiles for everybody in the family, I don't think it won because of the fact that it's much more of like
Why? Does
it's
it insult the attitude of the Dorito Pope?
no, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't outright insult them, but yeah, people. It does state like if you're about this weight, we're gonna work on you. So
I don't know, I remember being insulted by it when I played it.
I still use mine.
I guess
Pretty sure it's going to be one of the few ones that I have to keep around during the Switch 2 era because it's probably one of the ones that can't exactly work unless I have any Switch 1 Joy-Cons.
Okay, the next thing we got is best fighting game, and in the category we have Ultimate, Smash Ultimate, Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11, and Samurai Showdown. Oh,
Jump Force is dead.
Yeah, that one.
That shut down in 2022.
In Mortal Kombat, I can't remember if this was the game, if 11 was the one that really got people back into it, or if it was the one that came right after that did.
I think, and I mean, I think it was 11 that a lot of people liked. Not necessarily the one that people liked it because like it did a lot of stuff, but I think the most recent one, like Mortal Kombat 1, I think it's called.
Yeah, because that's the one where they did like a reboot AU thing going on.
They
Yeah,
did multiple reboots.
Aside
I
that,
mean, okay, all right. First of all, as I understand it, Mortal Kombat until Mortal Kombat 7 was a continuous storyline timeline. Then they did a reboot then to sort of do the retelling of the original Mortal Kombat, with Raiden having the previous memories of the other Raiden, unfortunately giving him bad advice.
I do vaguely remember
and
that somewhere. I think
Then
you're
they
right.
rebooted again, like for was essentially I think 11.
Well, they had to be after 11 because 1 is where they did the thing where like now Raiden and Liu Kang are switched in their roles.
well, just looking at Mortal Kombat 11 versus Mortal Kombat
Oh
1.
well, if Mortal Kombat 11 was here, then yeah, it's probably before the new timeline
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Suffice to say, this looks like a strong category. Ultimate winning, I guess, is not too surprising.
Wow, Dead or Alive 6, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't hear anything about that game anymore.
Yeah, it's a series I haven't heard in a long time.
Or Samurai Showdown.
Well, it sort of got plagued by DLC.
Yeah.
In the best role playing category, strong showing from Disco Liam because it won its category against two favorites. Two favorites of mine. Three, actually. No. So, yeah, all my favorites are here, and Disco Liam is the one
Why is Iceborne in here again?
Is this where the whole
I think
why are we letting DLCs be in categories again came back?
First of all, yeah, that's a good point. Why is the DLC being put in? Second of all, why is it in the role-playing game and not, action game or something?
because it was released on Xbox, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in September of 2019. So it barely squeaked under the requirements, even though Windows brought it in 2020. So
I mean, again, this another strong listing, and Disco Elysium, I think, has remained and is like a game that's on a pedestal now. So it kind of
yeah,
makes sense that when its category and it's doing well. Um, I'm biased when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, so as far as I'm concerned, it's always in the zeitgeist, but that's because I consume nothing but Kingdom Hearts 3 media on a weekly basis, so what do I know? And then 14's getting its love there too, so good for it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I think that was the year that I got. 2019 was, oh god,
Well, I feel like they probably have deleted the MMO category anyway, so.
Yeah, I think 2019 was Endwalker, I believe.
No, 2020 wasn't. Well, it was past 2020 because it was like.
I'm checking the list. Okay, expansions.
Because we started.
Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers would have been uh, the reason why it would have been brought up is that we had Shadowbringers,
Ah,
which once again bringing up DLC.
I mean, this brings up the problem of live service games.
Yeah.
Right.
Because technically, you could say 1 year is really good for, like, say, Destiny 2, and then it's like really, really bad. So, which is it?
Yeah, exactly. Here's our award-winning game that is nothing like what it used to be 5 years ago.
Well, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice gets
that,
wins Best Action Adventure Game,
hey,
beating
that,
out Borderlands 3,
that game
Control,
slaps.
Death Stranding, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Resident Evil 2.
I mean, this is also a very strong category. I mean, I was super into Sekiro and Death Stranding that year. For me, they tie in my heart for best action adventure game I had that year, for sure.
And what's funny is like Control has been like I don't know why, but it's been upsurging lately. Like people have been going back to play Control.
Oh, I think wasn't it that Alan Wake 2 came out last year? So I think it's
Yeah.
just it's riding that wave. Which of course our channel will one day do that. That's on the list. We're gonna do those games. Maybe even this year, depending on how long it takes to beat Sandland, but it's on the list.
But it's like Link's Awakening, that's the one with the toyetic that they've brought forward with obviously Echoes of Wisdom. Because they brought Grezzo back to do Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, and there you go. I mean, a fantastic showing in Link's Awakening brought us a fantastic original game in
Yeah.
Echoes of Wisdom. So I mean, everybody wins.
Yep.
Best action game. Which why do you call it best action adventure? And action, can you just say best adventure game? I don't know.
Again, what is with these categories?
What is a genre?
On one
Yeah.
hand, it feels like it's like the action was so good this year, we had to have two categories.
Yeah.
So here's best action game. Something we brought up recently: Devil May Cry 5.
Oh look, a game we
Oh.
completed a few weeks ago. Astral Chain.
Astral Chain. Hi, Astral Chain.
As well as Apex Legends, which that was the year it was released.
Yeah, weird inclusion still, but I get it, I guess.
Gears 5, which
I mean, poor Gears 5, I feel like that while it wasn't necessarily a bad game, that one might have just not have hit the way they hoped it would. Let me see
I feel like Gears 5, the reason why it didn't do as good is because of the fact that its audience had moved on. No offense to people.
It scored 80s, so like it's like it didn't do bad.
Yeah.
And wasn't it like a Gears related thing at this year's Game Awards? So people are still want more of it. Maybe this game just. I mean, I'm saying it didn't hit right, but it got 80s, and as far as I'm concerned, you're doing well if you got an 80. So like.
Yeah. And then obviously we have Metro Exodus, which I think
that's a series I haven't gotten into yet, but it's another one of those like Fallout adjacent games I want to get into.
In this case, the best way I've heard Metro described is similar to the way Stalker is described, in that, how you like Fallout? Would you like to play Eastern Bloc Fallout?
Which, sure, that sounds amazing when you put it that way.
Because I've heard Stalker described that way too, and it's like, yeah, oh god.
Okay, let's get in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All I'm going to say is that I think Metro is the better of the two series. Because, dear God, does Stalker like shooting me in the head? Anyway.
Okay, let's get into best VR AR game, and I think this is going to be a weird category.
It's a weird category regardless, because usually it's the problem of how many people have actually played any of them.
Well, so I do think the winner is the best representation and the one that belongs there, Beat Saber.
Versus No Man's Sky?
It's just, I feel like this is
because here's the problem: is No Man's Sky a good VR game?
yeah.
I've heard decent things about its VR support. I don't know anything past that.
This is like a
Yeah,
weird
but-
inclusion. Another weird inclusion. Like, why are you here? You're not released this year. You just released as a portable and sneaked into the
Well,
category.
yeah, but what if they're releasing the fact that they can do VR this year?
Yeah.
It does become
Yes.
another weird inclusion sort of thing of like,
Right.
when are you allowed to apply for Game of the Year awards? You know?
And even if we consider that, I think Beat Saber still is the thing because I still see random Beat Saber videos all the time. I still know there are streamers who play Beat Saber as the primary game for them all the time. So like, it has stuck.
Beat Saber, another exercise game.
Hey, you want to see
And
a streamer in a
best mobile game. Let's talk about the best mobile game before Genshin shows up.
okay.
Because Genshin wins next year. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Call of Duty Mobile. Yeah.
I've heard that it's actually when it was being played, it was actually a good design. I think it was based off of their battle royale. So
I didn't play any of these mobile games, so I really don't have any. I don't have a horse in this race.
World Click Golf would probably be the good indie answer to any of them.
In this case, Sayonara Wild Hearts, I've heard good things about, at least from the music side of things. Sky Children of Light. That one is kind of weird because it keeps being re-released for whatever reason.
Sky's the limit. That's why.
So, now on to the best independent game, which this one should not surprise people.
Yeah, this is the hat trick for Disco Elysium right now. So good for them. Again, kind of. This game has aged well.
Considering what they're beating, it's actually pretty impressive when you think about it.
Yeah.
Outer Wilds, which is another impressive game that still gets talked about this day, and Entitled Goose Game, which gets memed all the time.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Baba Is You is actually pretty impressive when you consider things.
Oh yeah, no, Baba. I love Baba Is You.
In terms of independent made games and stuff. Untitled Goose Game also was super popular.
I think there was some discourse of people.
Katana Zero, I think, was also super popular.
That's the one I don't know. I don't know that one. It looks neat, but I don't know it.
If I think about it, Katana Zero is kind of a.
It's an action I want to say it's roguelike, but it's not. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen somebody review it. But yeah, Disco Elysium does deserve the win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just remember
look, Discords. Best ongoing game.
Oh boy,
still winning to this day, honestly.
Yeah. And even though it's not my cup of tea, I mean, I feel like they're earning it.
Or these people on this list are still contenders.
Well, best ongoing game is real easy when you're investing in live services.
Yeah. So the winner, Fortnite.
Is there more that needs to be said?
Runners up, Apex Legends. First time it was up on best ongoing game.
Mm-hmm.
It came out that year.
Well, yeah, but it is technically a live service, so I would say giving it the best ongoing game is true.
Why don't we just have a best live service category already?
Because then it would be overrun by the same games. I don't know.
Yeah. Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Rainbow Six Siege.
Wait.
Fifth one that is no longer with us.
So I need to make this point real quick. Like when you look at other awards like the Grammys, for example, like they have a separation between all artists and newcoming artists. What? It's not so hard to say best new live service game. I feel like there's room for that. Just because I just want to have their own category so we can stop slotting them where they don't belong. Okay, that's all I needed to say about that. If anything else we want to say about ongoing games?
Nah.
Okay. Games for Impact. Greece is the one we just talked about, but other than that, the only one I know by name is Life is Strange 2, which, because now I'm looking at that list, I mean, Life is Strange 2 and Life is Strange in general has a big following and has a lot of follow-ups, but it still got beat up by Devolver Digital's Greece.
The weird part is, like, I had known about Concrete Genie and Sea of Solitude, but I was annoyed because Sea of Solitude was locked to EA's Origin for the longest ass time.
Oh.
Actually, I've heard one of the reasons why Life is Strange has sort of fallen off is that each successive one has sort of done less good.
Wasn't
Yeah.
falling
Or
off.
less impact.
It's not an impression I got, given that I think there was an announcement from them just this year too at the award show.
There was, but I wasn't quite sure what it was exactly about. Like, maybe a compilation? But
Okay, then we got best performance, and there's a few that we can definitely relate to.
Yeah. Good old Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen in Death Stranding was awesome. So like, he was fun. Norman Reedus got a shout out there too for Sam Porter, so that was also good.
And yes, Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper Darling. Trust me, you will love Dr. Darling in Control.
Looking forward to that. I mean, yeah, Control got two shout outs, and
Courtney.
then Tiny Tina got nominated too.
Yep. I would say Courtney Hope is amazing as Jesse Faden. Really good. Because, like, I've watched a lot of Control. Haven't played it, but watched it. It's good.
This is a strong category.
Yeah. Now here's the category. It's like, can somebody explain the major difference between this category and its following one that we're probably going to do?
For me, audio design is about technical, and score and music is just about like final product. I think that's what it comes down to.
Because, like, my thoughts are, like, best audio design is, like, ambient. Do these sounds make sense in the world?
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes I've seen, like, best audio design, and it's gone to, like, I've listened to that game. That game sounds horrible. It's got zero balance to it. But the winner of best audio is Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Which, I mean, guess good on them. I kind of wish it had gone to any other game on this list, but that's fine.
Control would have been cool. Death Stranding would have been cool. Resident Evil 2, the remake, that one would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Sekiro, obviously, I would have liked that, but obviously from Software.
I mean, good. I guess good on them. Good on them.
Yeah. Best
score
music.
At least Death Stranding won it there, so I'm not mad at that. And I like every other game on this list too. So it was a strong showing for score in games.
Cadence of Hyrule, which that is the Switch version of Crypt of the Necrodancer. Devil May Cry 5.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Woo!
And Sayonara Wild Hearts.
You know that Cadence of Hyrule, you remember that big dance pad that I bought from that game? It finally stopped working last year. I had to get rid of it and buy a new pad.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it was too.
Did you get it the same layout, or is it?
No, they don't sell pads anymore. I had to get a completely different pad.
Oh man!
Yeah,
you could have had it as a wall hanging, but
yeah, it was just so cumbersome. It's a huge slab.
Anyway,
all right, then best art design, art direction.
Yeah.
Not playing Control. I can absolutely see why it won it.
Yeah. No, Control is really good with its art direction.
I would have liked. I would have liked to have seen Death Stranding win it. Which, by the way, I know people give Keighley a lot of shit for being Kojima's unrequited best friend, but Kojima ain't winning anything yet, except for the last one of the score. That's the only win that Kojima's got so far. Maybe Keighley didn't want to give him too many wins.
Whereas, like, it went up against obviously Death Stranding, Grease, Link's Awakening, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice.
I might have to go play Grease and Sayonara Wild Hearts because they are showing up a lot, and they weren't part of my. They weren't in my radar. But maybe I should go give them a try.
I will probably say Sayonara Wild Hearts is one of those games that you will play it for an afternoon, and you
The
may
pictures,
play it again.
the pictures
So.
even got a curious slide. I mean, what more do you want?
Eh,
Best narrative.
anyway,
Best narrative is also another strong category, and with Disco Elysium's fourth win so far. So, if anyone ever doubted Disco Elysium, this is a reminder that it's remained the zeitgeist for a good reason.
whereas we have it going up against The Plague Tale, Control, Death Stranding, and Outer Worlds.
All strong games, all very good narratives. So I can't. The best one won. That's all you can say.
And
Okay, two
now
more.
for
Get best game direction. Okay, finally. Okay, I guess Keeley finally gave one to his buddy. So Death Stranding won best game direction that year.
contenders were Control, Outer Wilds, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro.
Oh, you know another one that surprisingly didn't win anything was Sekiro, huh? Nominated several times, but not a winner. That's probably why they went. Nah, fuck this. We're gonna make a game that no one will deny.
You're fucking with us. I know you are, because like it's right there.
Oh shit!
Are you
okay?
joking, Eddie?
I wasn't looking. I was purposely not looking at the next category. All right. They have not won one thing up to this point. Okay. So no, that's it. But I won action adventure game. I'm such an idiot. Shut up. Okay. I'm sorry.
As well as the final category, Game of the Year.
And I don't disagree with that. That was a kick-ass game.
Yeah, I think that like Sekiro definitely a good boost for FromSoft.
I mean, although given what we've been saying, I almost feel bad for Control not taking Game of the Year after everything else they've been doing.
I'm okay with it because it's like it gave Control that cult classic over like, oh, we have definitive proof Sekiro was great. Versus like Control, it's like, yeah, but have you actually played Control? And like Death Stranding, Outer Worlds, Resident Evil 2, like some of these games, it's like Resident Evil 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is like they really couldn't have handed them the like Game of the Year because I think Resident Evil 2, while it was really good, a lot of people were going like, but it's a remake. Doesn't deserve is like why not just hand it back to the original Resident Evil 2 kind of mentality.
And at least with that, Resident Evil 2 was like, I mean, it seems like it was a completely different experience from the original.
Yeah. And I think that's why, like, I'm okay with it being a runner-up in Game of the Year. But yeah, most of these games were heavy contenders. Because Control, Death Stranding, Outer Worlds, that one I feel might be the weakest out of all of them.
No. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I might be biased because I'm a big fan of these kind of games.
I would probably say because the reason why I say it's the weakest is that I've been seeing people play Control nowadays. Death Stranding has seen a surge recently because apparently it's now a comfy game. Death Stranding is a comfy game.
The walking simulator.
Obviously Resident Evil, people go like, oh, if you've played Resident Evil 2, you gotta play. It's like if you play Resident, now you need to go play Resident Evil 4. And obviously, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, people are still playing it because it's the only latest version of Super Smash Bros. So it's like, with the whole thing of like Switch 2 on the horizon, people are wondering, are we getting a new Mario Kart? Are we going to be getting a reissue, or are we going to get a new Super Smash Bros. Game?
I keep hearing that it's supposed to be 9. That is supposed to be 9 that they're showing off.
That's what I've been hearing about the Mario Kart. I've been hearing a lot, but I have heard some people go like, maybe we should finally get a new Super Smash Bros. And it's like,
I don't think so.
No, I don't know.
I mean, for one thing, I think the creator basically said like, "Don't make me fucking do this again."
Well, yeah, Sakurai has basically said, "F this, I'm good." Um, it's one of those situations of like, but are you really done?
I mean,
I
whenever
think it's
he's
a
ready.
problem of trying to get all the licenses and
Yeah.
licensees again, just to do the crossovers with some of them.
They
Because I
might
don't
be
know
able to.
how much effort it was to get so many of the cast to come back.
As well as add new properties because like we got Dragon Quest.
SNK characters.
Joker from
Yeah.
Persona.
God, we got a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. So we are definitely in. Okay, we kind of need to wrap it up now. We're at above an hour. Any last minute thoughts about what we saw here? It seems like this was a decent year, and yeah,
This
good
one
year.
was a pretty hefty year, I'll be
Yep.
honest,
Yep.
because obviously Control, Death Stranding, Sekiro, those were all pretty heavy hitters. And it's kind of sad that Control only won Best Art Direction, but I feel like they deserve that one because it's something you have to experience in game.
Yeah. In when compared to what it won, yeah, I think Control was almost underrated by the awards it won.
Yeah. Um Admittedly there's some things here going like, really you gave it to that one like best audio design to Call of Duty?
I mean, it is one of the things they are consistently better at than every other part of
Yeah.
that game. So I'm not too surprised that they pulled that off.
And then what's the difference between best action game and best action adventure game? Huh? What? Um Because it's like we have Devil May Cry, Astral Chain, being probably like the beat 'em, like what you'd expect for a pure action game, and then you have things like Apex, Gears 5, and Metro, which are all shooters.
It's what's funny about that is that in this category, Devil May Cry 5 and Metro Exodus aren't nominated anywhere else. And Astral Chain too. Those three games are not nominated anywhere else.
Yeah, and
I don't know what that says, but it's just interesting that in that category there are three games that are not nominated anywhere else.
I would probably caveat with Astral Chain since that was a license by Nintendo and it's technically a Nintendo IP, even though it was developed by Platinum Games, and they are Platinum is technically trying to get some of its IPs back, but given other things that have happened, I think Astral Chain was kind of like it was nice. But the problem is it was a very short-lived game as compared to other things like Devil May Cry. Because the one thing, as actually coming from playing and beating the game, admittedly, I played it on casual, was that Astral Chain had no like in order to get the best scores, everything was additive. Whereas compared to like Devil May Cry, if you died, you got a severe hit on your point score, which means that like obviously certain games like the Devil May Cry would penalize you for doing bad, whereas Astral Chain is like if you died, you died. Just get up and do it again,
Mhm.
which made it a bit more accessible. But I think out like after when we got over to 2020, I didn't hear anything about people playing Astral Chain. I literally opened up my copy of Astral Chain when I decided to play it because I got it that I think I got it like a year later,
Mhm.
and then it just sat on the shelf because real life stuff happened.
Right, right.
Obviously, some games like Disco Elysium, it's a good game from what I've heard. I am bit off put by its art design, I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you. I think it looks sick. So, and again, I haven't played it myself, but to each their own.
Yeah. As for
FPX?
games that
I was going to say, FPX, any thoughts?
Not really.
not really, but Death Stranding got 10 nominations, by the way. Control got 8.
Oh, yeah, that was that section in the bottom, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess it could be good for them. Well, I guess that's almost contrary to what I was saying before, right? I guess maybe Keeley was giving him a lot of attention.
Considering that Death
Well,
Stranding
a lot
got
of nominations
awards.
do mean a lot more attention,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but maybe the final vote was, not just because Keeley demanded it.
I mean, because I love that game. So, like, for me, it makes sense that it got such attention. But I feel like I'm too close to it to fairly judge it. Because I fell in love with that game. You guys remember when I was playing it? It was just so damn good. It was everything. I don't know. I just like that experience, and I can't wait for number 2 to come out.
Yeah, and the factor that people are playing it now and treat it as a comfy game, which to me is just blows my mind, is like, really? Death Stranding a comfy game? What?
Well, once you get used to the systems and such, it probably isn't nearly as stressful as originally envisioned.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get it this year, according to what little information's out there. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. That might be a game I purposely bump another game out of the queue to play, but we'll see.
Do not bump Sandland.
Except for Sandlands. That one we're gonna do.
That is your tribute game.
Yeah, a tribute game a year in the making. Sorry. Okay.
I finished Dragon Quest XI as my tribute. You have to finish Sandland.
It's sad that you finished your tribute before I did.
And mine was an RPG. Admittedly, I technically did not play to completion. I played to the end of the base game.
If anything, now that Sparking Zero came out, I should play that as the tribute, but I won't. We're gonna play Sandland. Okay, all right. Let's call it here, everybody. Well, if you're listening to the podcast or watching the video, remember you can watch us Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays on stream. So tune in if you want to see us active, which will be technically right now in real life. I should be streaming, but I'm not because I'm recording this. And of course, we'll try to record these and put them out on a weekly, semi-weekly basis. We'll see how much I can actually put together. We're going to try to do an episode next week. So we'll see. If I'm still in town, we'll be doing an episode next week. Besides that, I think that's it. Gentlemen, anything else we need to say?
No, I'd say we're pretty good.
Okay. And let's cut off here and let's go satisfy ourselves. Wait, phrasing. Bye, everybody.